Hello! Welcome back to another episode of Today from Yesterday. I am Dakota Lundeen, and today I want to talk to you about the action-packed world of archaeology. Actually, I'm talking about Indiana Jones, the disputed diplomat of archaeology. His action-packed movies show just how much fun it is to explore the world's ancient mysteries. It's nothing like that? You serious? That's what I got into history, dude. The Indiana Jones trilogy is probably my favorite trilogy of all time. I have very fond memories of watching all three movies back to back as a child. When the Crystal Skull was announced, I was ecstatic, but it was awful. As you may have heard, Disney announced a new one, and I am less ecstatic and more reserved. I'm choosing to keep this hype train parked in the station. This could either be just because I'm older, or how the last film was just straight awful. But Disney's doing it, which means if it's anything like The Force Awakens, there will be a new guy or girl who's similar enough to Indy, but different enough to be its own character, who is semi-mentored by Indy. The plot will be a copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Indy will die near the end right before a huge action scene. Bonus points if it's a weapon with light in the name, or saber. Double bonus points if it's both. Well, they kind of did something similar to this in Crystal Skull, you know, Shia LaDouche being Indy's son or whatever. And there were aliens, which I think we all agree was awful. Ancient aliens are stupid. I really hate ancient aliens. Pro tip, ancient aliens ruin everything. It ruined Indiana Jones, it ruined the History Channel, and it ruined Alien vs. Predator. The formula for Indiana Jones is fun and easy. Stoic, wisecracking archaeologist who believes everything should belong in a museum solves some of history's ancient mysteries that proves to be magical in some way. The end. It's fun to think that there's maybe more fact to the myth than there is fiction. And ancient aliens ruin that! That's why Crystal Skull was so bad, and hopefully Disney understands this. So today I'm going to give you a few historical myths that Indy hasn't tackled yet that I think would make for a great movie. Way better than ancient aliens. 1. Roanoke. Roanoke was the first English attempt at a permanent settlement on North America. When the English returned to resupply and check up on their colonists 3 years later, there was no trace of them at all. There was no signs of life, no signs of struggle, and all the fortifications and buildings were completely dismantled. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan, carved into a post in the middle of the settlement. There are several theories as to the disappearance of the Roanokeans, ranging from integration with the Native Americans all the way to they just tried to build a boat and sail back to England on their own. Or maybe it was something supernatural. Maybe that had something to do with the Salem witch trials that occurred nearby several years later. Who knows? What do I look like, Indiana Jones? 2. The tomb of Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan. Both are indomitable conquerors and both have mysterious circumstances surrounding their burials. First, Genghis Khan. There is a mausoleum dedicated to the great conqueror, complete with its own dedicated guard. Could be like an ancient secret society, you know, wink wink. But that is not where the body is located. Presumably his body was carried back to Mongolia to be buried near the place of his birth. The legend goes that the funeral escort murdered everybody on the way to his burial site in order to preserve the secret. And once the tomb was complete, the slaves were also killed, you know, to continue preserving the secret. Next is Alexander the Great, who is supposedly buried in Alexandria, although his body has never been found. Alexander wished to be buried at the Siwa Oasis at the temple of Zeus Amun, who the Egyptians know as Amun-Ra, their main deity. See, a prophet told Alexander that he was the son of Zeus Amun and had since then considered himself holy. However, one of Alexander's generals hijacked the cart and buried it in Memphis and later moved him to Alexandria. This is right up Indy's alley. Several locations to visit, tombs to explore, and a myth about Alexander's godly relations. 3. The Voynich Manuscript. This artifact, however, is already in a museum at Yale. It's a manuscript dated back to the 1400s, presumed to have been made in northern Italy at the height of the Renaissance. What makes the manuscript so unique is that it's written in either a code or an unknown language, and no one has yet to decipher it. The writing is largely suspected to be code, however there are arguments that the writing seems natural, like a natural language. Some even suggest that it has relations to Asian languages, while others dismiss this book as ravings of a crazy person in an invented language. This is a puzzle that has persisted for over 600 years. It features drawings of plants, but no plants ever found on Earth, strange astrological diagrams with no clear purpose, nymphs bathing in strange plumbing systems, and a few lines of Latin and even German. The theories of its purpose range anywhere from ancient hoax all the way up to alchemy manuscript. The mystery behind its purpose and its language means it's definitely Indiana Jones worthy material. Could the suggested Asian influence on the language the plants that no one's ever seen before, and the strange astrological diagrams be somehow related to Shangri-La? Who knows? But it's an Indiana Jones movie, so anything is possible. But please, let's leave the ancient aliens at home. Well, that's all the time I had for today. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Oh, about education?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 5. I forgot.
Yeah.
No.
Focus.
I've been real good at going to school lately. I haven't missed class in several weeks.
Good.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
No, that is like
yeah.
huge for me.
All right, get out so I can finish recording this.